Lewis, a Harlow artist. What type of artist would you describe yourself as?
Well, I'd describe myself as a digital impressionist because I do impressionism, the classical impressionism, but digitally.
To the layman, can you just describe exactly what impressionism is?
Well, impressionism, it wasn't like back in the day because it's blurry art, really. It's from a distance, it looks realistic, but then close up, it's a blurry mess, and it's not very precise. But it's use of colour, putting down colour. It's not about fine lines. It's about how that colour builds up to make a clearer picture.
So some might say Monet's already done his work. What are you doing to add to Monet's work?
What I'm doing to add to Monet? Well, I mean, I guess I take more modern themes. You know, I don't tend to do landscapes and things like that. I like landscapes and looking at them, but I find doing them quite boring. So I tend to do portraiture and weird things, generally a bit odd, a bit fantastical.
Take us a little bit further back. At school, were you interested in art at school?
I was, yeah, I loved art at school, but I was never any good at it. And I did it at GCSE. I was very influenced by my dad, who was a freelance artist. His whole life he's worked in art departments and things. But so I love drawing and I love comic books, but I wasn't very good and I didn't learn anything. And I got a C in GCSE art and then dropped it. But back when I got into university, I took it up as a hobby, and then it just kept going until it became a bit of an obsession.
And Damien Hirst got an E at A-level art, because that's any compensation to you. So when did you start this new journey?
It was at the end of university. It was when I was a TA at school, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get into teaching. And I thought, I've really got to do something. I've really got to up my game. What else am I good at? And I thought the art, so I pursued it. And I spent 4 hours a day for a year and a half minimum doing my artwork, and I really persisted with it. And it wasn't until a girl called Jess Bradley and her fiance John Paul Bove, I met them at a convention and they saw my artwork and said, "What are you doing? Get a stall at a convention." And that's where it all began.
Behind you is a very interesting wall. Is this your work, or is it more like your inspiration wall?
Yeah, well, it is my inspiration wall. That's exactly what I call it. And I've got pictures up there from William Turner, who's obviously a classic artist that hopefully most people know about. But I've also got work from James State and Mark Pierce, who are people I've worked with often in the past. Because when people need artwork, or if I need artwork doing that's more kid-friendly and fun and cartoony, then these are people I call on because I love their artwork. And seeing it up there, I put pictures that I like of theirs up there, or stuff I've worked with them on. And it just keeps me going, really.
Where can people find your work?
At twinswordtrading.blogspot.com. My stuff's on there. I've also got a Facebook page. And yeah, just search that and you find me.
So where are you? Is this a career or hobby or what? A bit of
Well,
both?
it's a hobby. Yeah, it's a bit of both because it's a hobby, and I mean I'm a teacher by trade. But I would like my artwork to be more of my career. But I'm not artistically trained. I mean, obviously I've had a lot of practice, but I don't have an agent or anything like that. And that's something I like, and it'd be great to have that. But yeah, I do local commissions for friends, commissions for people online.
Do you exhibit?
Yeah, I've done a gallery at Epping Green Chapel locally, and I've got another one coming up. That was 2 years ago. I've got another one coming up in the next few months, and I do conventions in London.
So the actual nuts and bolts of what you do, how long does it take to do a typical piece of work?
Well, yeah, for my impressionistic stuff, it takes me between 4 hours and a day. Really, it can take ages. But I tend to sit there until the piece is finished, which can be a bit maddening sometimes. There's a few days where I've sat there for a whole day. I don't let it happen often. I haven't got time. But yeah, generally between 4 and 8 hours I'd say is my typical. But then more complex stuff can take, a few days.
Are you aware, finally, of a growing or an existing Harlow artistic community, or do you work in a little silo?
I have to say I kind of work in a silo. I mean, and the people I do work with are further afield than Harlow. Through church, because I go to Epping Green Chapel, there's been another few local artists there that work in all different mediums. So Epping way and a few in Harlow. I've linked up with a few other artists.
You enjoy your work?
I love it, yeah. I really love it. In terms of the art, I love, yeah. I mean, I like teaching as well. I've got a passion for both. But artwork will always be in my heart,
Is it important